You're listening to the movie Mixup, and I'm your host, Katie Peters. Joining me today is Chris Reeves, and today we'll be talking about cooking movies or movies about working in a kitchen. So, Chris, if you want to introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me. My name is Chris. I'm a professional chef. I've been cooking for the last 7 years, and I love movies about cooking.
So, today we're going to talk about a few different movies. One is Chef with Jon Favreau, another is Burnt with Bradley Cooper, and then we'll touch on Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, and then also some shows that are on Netflix, which will be a different topic. So, first, do you want to talk about the movie Chef? Why you like it, why you don't?
Yeah, Chef was one of those movies when it first came out that I was really excited about because it focused on a chef dealing with a manager of a restaurant that didn't have the same vision as him. So we kind of said, I'm going to get up and leave and do my own thing. Started with a food truck making Cubano sandwiches, and then it took off from there. He had a really good product. Somebody tasted his food, the food critic, and said, "Wow, like it's really good. I want to back you." And it doesn't happen as often as the movie makes it seem, but it does happen. And that's one of the main paths that chefs can kind of get their own place and really get going.
And then with the movie Burnt, how does that differ or be similar to that?
So Bradley Cooper plays a chef, Adam Jones, one of the greatest chefs in the Michelin category. Michelin's kind of a three-star rating for restaurants, one, two, and three. 3 stars is almost impossible to get. Gordon Ramsay, a lot of chefs have 3 stars, but it's difficult to get. You have to be a perfectionist, kind of OCD. That movie is pretty realistic when it comes to that level of cooking. You have to be kind of insane to make it happen. The shots in the kitchen, the noise, the sound, the yelling, the chaos is all pretty accurate. They touch on his addiction problems and issues in the restaurant, and that's all reality in a kitchen. And Bradley Cooper really does do a good job portraying Adam Jones and his temper and how chefs can be in a kitchen, and it was nice to see on screen.
And then shifting gears a little bit with the movie Waiting, it's obviously a comedy, but you say it's pretty realistic, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, if anybody's seen the movie, it is pretty realistic. They're working at a pretty small chain restaurant. The chefs are kind of degenerate. They goof around a lot. They play a lot of games. They mess with the food. I hate to say it, but that does happen in some restaurants with some chefs. They can be pretty crazy. It's a funny movie. It sheds light on some stuff that happens in restaurants, but it really is kind of sad because it does happen sometimes.
And then you also mentioned that Netflix has a lot of interesting cooking documentaries or shows. So, what are some of your favorites?
Chef's Table by far is the best. The cinematography is incredible. Just the filming, the way that they purvey food to the viewer is pretty incredible. They track a lot of interesting chefs, really up and coming chefs. It's nice to see that they're picking chefs that aren't these super famous, incredible like TV personalities, but they're chefs that are doing incredible work in their own little sections of the world, focusing on super local ingredients, and it's just really nice to see the music, the audio, everything about it really come together and show their craft in a beautiful way.
And would you like to see more movies that are more realistic about cooking?
It would be nice to see a movie that showed the life of a line cook. There are movies that are kind of showing how chefs work at the top level, the goofy movies like Waiting, but there really isn't a good, solid movie that'll show the life of just what a chef does. Working 12 to 16 hours a day, kind of grinding during a service, really getting down to the nitty gritty of what being a chef is. It's not this TV personality guy that's going to make some food that takes 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's just, it's a different media perception, I think, right now, and it would be nice to see a movie that really kind of showed what chefs actually do on a daily basis.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't touched on?
I don't think so. I think this has been really nice.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.